chaos magic. You've asked for it, so I'm gonna do it. I must say, I've been studying chaos magic for around 2 years now, and I still know nothing. It's an incredibly dense and incredibly difficult thing to understand because it is so esoteric in nature. Chaos magic is a primal or human form of magic practice that helps change your circumstances. Through chaos magic, you can ignore societal constructs and create the world that you want to live in. Just using your own damn brain. Because you're a genius. I have said it before and I will say it a million times, the human brain is incredible. The things that you're able to create, to manifest, we're all the Green Lantern. Kinda. Basically, what these 6 guidelines are tools to help you shift your own perspective. I know that you're gonna be like, this is just The Secret, I read that book, Oprah. They stole principles from chaos magic. And also, yeah, sure, if that helps you, sure. I get all of my information from a book called Condensed Chaos by phon. It's an incredibly easy to read, but also really confusing book. I know that it seems like that doesn't make sense, but you can read a sentence and it makes sense to you, and then it changes your whole life. And then you're like, wow, I gotta read that sentence 4 more times. So read Condensed Chaos after you watch this, and maybe you might start to maybe understand what chaos magic might be. By the way, before we get into this, because I do feel like it's important to say that if you are practicing chaos magic because of somebody else or with the hopes of achieving a goal that has to do with somebody else, you're doing it wrong and it will yield bad results. It's a very insular practice. And if you don't take it as a self-meditation, then it's not gonna work out for you, either in a way that is bad or it's just not gonna work. Also, I will say that all of this stuff can be dangerous if applied to the wrong person. So please don't be a bad guy, okay? You can't just create a world where it's okay to kill people because you can't do that. It's bad. These are the top 5 +1 guidelines of chaos magic. I'm gonna do it the opposite of how I usually do dark 5s and actually go in order because I think that the order is important. I'm not gonna go 6, 5, 4, 3, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get it. Number 1, avoidance of dogmatism. Basically, this guideline means that you should ignore all societal structures if it's getting in the way of achieving your own personal truth. Think of it like a yandere sim. There's multiple narratives or multiple storylines that'll get you to achieve the same thing. And it's up to you to pick the path that makes the most sense to you, not because your mom or your dad or your priest or your rabbi or your shaman or your professor or anybody tells you that this is the path you should take. You're taking it because it feels the most honest to you. Avoidance of dogmatism means that you're respecting your individual journey. Number 2, prizing personal experience over what you read and research. You never have to honor something that doesn't resonate with you. If you read something in class, or you read something from the Bible, or you read something online and it doesn't sit right with you, it's your job to take your own actions to explore that idea. This one can be taken in an interesting way, in a way that I don't personally love, because I'm a big fan of learning. I'm a big fan of learning from history and reading and being well informed. So I'm not saying if you read something that says killing is bad and you think, oh no, I don't think that because I'm right and I'm the king of my own universe, and then you go kill somebody. Okay. Sure, you made that decision, but you have to live with the ramifications of that decision. Explore things on your own terms, basically. Number 3, technical excellence. Keep a meticulous record of what you have tried and analyze it. You are not a passive passenger in your own life. It's your responsibility, like I said before, to keep in mind what works for you. All of these guidelines are up for your personal interpretation. For me, it means keeping mementos. For somebody else, it means keeping a very meticulous journal. Number 4, deconditioning or desensitizing. This is essentially breaking down the beliefs that were hammered into your brain since birth, which is not easy without a lobotomy, which I don't suggest. No lobotomies. Okay. Have you guys seen the Baphomet figure that has solve and coagula on its forearms? So that means to take apart and put together. Essentially, the only way to become whole again, the only way to learn from your own experiences and create the entire human that you were meant to be, is to take every single part of yourself apart and put it back together again. But with that comes the deconstruction of the ego. And when you say ego, a lot of people have this misconception that I'm talking about, like, oh, well, I'm not vain, I'm not whatever. That's not what that means. Everybody has an ego. Every human being has ego. The only way to create the world that you want for yourself is for you to create it and for nobody else to have influence on that world. Belief is something that's super important in chaos magic, but it's something that can empower us, but it's also something that can inhibit us. We believe certain constructs, we believe certain ideals because they were taught to us, but those beliefs keep us from understanding our own world. If you keep hard, fast beliefs, then you are blocking yourself off from the willingness to open up to other things. Like maybe that thing that you always thought was so bad isn't so bad. And maybe it is so bad, maybe it's terrible, maybe it's the worst, but it's up to you to figure that out. It's up to you to see that from the perspective of yourself, not see that through your mom's eyes, not see that through your dad's eyes, to see that through your own eyes and to see, yes, I recognize that as bad. I don't want that as part of my world. Number 5, diverse approaches. It's okay to find what works. Like I said before, there's no one way to achieve one goal. So it's up to you to find the way, to find the route that best works for you. And the only way to find the best route that works for you is to taste all the flavors. 31 of them. I'm sure there's more than those now. I mean, what was that? 31 flavors?
Still 31.
Still 31? I think the crux of this is just, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to try something and realize that it doesn't work for you, because that's the beauty of having your own world, is that you get to taste whatever flavor you want and you get to decide which is your favorite, and you have the right and liberty to say 5 years from now or 5 minutes from now that no longer is your favorite, because you're the king of your universe, or queen, or non-binary royalty. Number 6, gnosis. Gnosis is the Greek word for experience over theoretical knowledge. This is a little bit more esoteric. It sounds like it might just be a reiteration of the other points, but it's truly not. Gnosis is an altered state of consciousness where you find yourself. You find the answers that you're looking for through meditative states. And I don't mean like do drugs and like, hang out with your friends and like find yourself, dude. I don't mean that. It's the place in your mind where you pick out your ideals and you find out who you are and you experience things through an exploration of your mind. And also through physical experiences, you recall those things and you create your own world surrounding that. And honestly, that is the best I can do. It's too big to talk about in a few minutes, but look it up, dude. Nothing is real, is what the point of this is. Everything is just a series of holograms, and chaos magic is the tools to manipulate that hologram into what you want it to be. Perfect example. When I was boxing, I got punched in the face real hard at this place called Golden Gloves. I broke my nose in 3 places, and I split my my eyelid, and I split my cheekbone. I got my ribs cracked in 3 or 4 different places, but I convinced myself that pain wasn't important at the moment. So I felt nothing. And some people could say, yeah, that's adrenaline, but I had the opportunity to stop, but I made the conscious decision to move forward because I decided that pain wasn't important to me in that moment. And because of that, I made it through until I got knocked out. But that's, that was my physical understanding. That was my learning that I have more power over myself and my body than I gave myself credit for. No experience can be a negative one if you think about it like that, because you're always gaining something. Basically, what these 6 guidelines are tools to help you shift your own perspective. You are your own captain and you steer your own ship. Too many metaphors. I want to end on a couple quotes from Peter Carroll, who is the person who, I don't want to say created chaos magic, but he's the guy who popularized it and put together the ideas and ideals of chaos magic and really, by all intents and purposes, created chaos magic. Okay, I'll say it. It is a mistake to consider any belief more liberated than another. It is the possibility of change which makes it important. This is super interesting. Basically, it's saying no one ideal should monopolize your brain. No one societal construct, no one idea that you have personally, originally, no idea that was placed into your brain takes priority or precedence over any other idea. It's not the physical nuggets of wisdom that are important. It's the fallibility of them. It's the possibility of change. It's the porousness of those ideas. That's the important bit. Everything we cherish as our ego, everything we believe in, is just what we have cobbled together out of the accident of our birth and subsequent experiences. That's incredible. Basically, what this is saying is that everything that we believe is just a construct of everything that we've been told. So have your own personal experiences and shape your beliefs from that, but also understand that those beliefs are fake as well. Nothing is real. The idea of chaos magic is that you're creating this world, and if you don't recognize your world as fallible, then you are the problem. You need to accept that other people have their own perspectives as well. Another fun quote, nothing is true, everything is permitted. So try it out. Except for murder. I feel like I always have to say that. Don't murder anybody. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Starled, turn on the bell for notifications, and I love you. I've never met you, but I know I love you. I've never said that to a boyfriend, but I've said it to you.